ongoing protests against China's strict zero COVID-19 policy and restrictions on freedoms are spreading. So far, they've popped up in at least a dozen cities around the world. It's a show of solidarity with the rare displays of defiance in China over the weekend. NTD's Jeremy Sandberg has the story.
These white sheets of paper have become a symbol of protest in China, and it is spreading. Dozens of protesters gathered in Hong Kong on Monday to show solidarity. In a city that is no stranger to anti-government protests, people brought flowers and candles.
I'm
here because I don't quite agree with mainland China's policies on COVID.
Small-scale vigils and protests have popped up in a number of cities around the world. They follow the deadly apartment fire in the Xinjiang region, which triggered an extraordinary series of protest scenes across China over the weekend. In Sydney, about 200 people gathered outside Town Hall to show support for protesters. In the United States, protesters gathered outside a U.S. State Department in Washington. A vigil and protest were also held at the University of California in Berkeley. And dozens of protesters gathered outside Columbia University in New York City.
The fact that Chinese and the young people in China have finally stood up to the corrupt and coercive government. For decades, we have been silenced. We have not been able to voice our dissent. But this weekend, what happened this weekend, what happened over the last week, has once again it inspired me.
During the speech, one of the protesters was beaten by a Chinese mainlander. Similar protest scenes unfolded in London, Tokyo, Paris, Toronto, and at least 5 other cities in Canada.
Given the widespread display of frustration with the zero COVID policy, is China considering ending it soon, and if so, when?
A spokesperson for the Chinese Foreign Ministry said that Beijing was not aware of any protests abroad calling for an end to its zero COVID policy. And when repeatedly asked about the protests at home, after 40 seconds of paper shuffling, he replied the question did not, quote, reflect what actually happened.
你谈到的有关情况与事实不符。
Jeremy Sandberg, NTD News.